You can do all the dancing you want with a weapon, but to develop skill and power, you need to hit something. Properly training how to strike effectively only takes you, your training targets, and your weapon of choice. You should train with a variety of weapons. If you ever plan on using it, train with it. We're going to start with swinging the club. Swinging the club can be done with one or two hands. Again, you're not going to be looking at, doing the tapping nonsense. Okay, it's just going to be putting your weight and as much power into your blow as possible. Again, this is a small short stick that we use, a hardwood. You can, again, weapons vary from baseball bats to axe handles. This would be a two-handed weapon. Again, really not really thinking about hitting the target, just generally just obliterating anything that comes into the path of the weapon. Okay, so now the first blow, we're going to be that horizontal across, head, ribs, driving it, cutting your body, twisting your body, stomping, your feet, the body, get hitting, letting the meat of the hand drive the weapon across. Horizontal across. Next blow is horizontal back, similar to the edge of hand. Again, these blows you'll see are going to be also pommel strikes, so it really doesn't make a difference. Blow across. Again, feet. So work the weapon, twist the body. Again, elbow up, protecting your chin, same as this. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now, we had the horizontals across. Now we got the vertical down. And we're dropping this straight down. And the skull. Again, you need a weapon with a little weight on it to do the damage. So, with the vertical down, now we're going to have vertical up. Again, coming into the testicles, okay, coming into the rib cage, coming into the head. So just twist. Head. Testicles. Again, grappling here, the pommel strike's going to be the same thing. So, diagonally, across, and down. Now, same as the vertical, edge of hand into the nape of the neck. We had straight down, we had across, now we have diagonally down. So it's going to be cutting, straight, down, cross. When I cut, think about coming out the other side of his body on his hip. And then, now we're going to come diagonally down back. Again, in this section, you're just training single blows. Training single blows as hard as you can into the target. Next, we'll go to the diagonally up and across strike. So you're going to be from here, coming up now. It's got a slight angle as opposed to the horizontal strike. So we're just up. Holding our target, switching hand. Okay, so as we have up, now we've got back. Get to the skull. So, that concludes our basic single hand strikes. Now again, practicing with the double hand, okay, doesn't take a lot of imagination. So using the axe handle, okay? So we've got here, just holding it, you can hold it just like a baseball bat. You know, I prefer to do more like a katana grip just because that's how I'm used to grabbing it, but to tell you the truth, in the heat of it, you're just gonna grab it. The club will tell you how to hold it when you're swinging your hands down into it. Up. Other side. Again, not too much imagination, not too much. Just using a different weapon. Again, it doesn't matter. He's got his hands up. He's got, please, bang. It's coming right off, right off. Next, we'll move to close quarter two-handed strikes. Perhaps the most overlooked and most devastating types of strikes in close quarters combat. We're going to go to that forward cross cut. So from a reverse grip position, going to be basically aiming towards the midsection. So it just strikes across and right just below the surface of the dummy. Again, makes that J hook. Okay, makes that J hook. So again, creating a space, allowing us to do some larger movements. Now we're just going to do same type of cut, but it's just going to be the pivot cross cut. So we started without the step. Now the pivot cross cut step, step, and again, hooking it at the end. You can do this both directions. As always, remember to keep your chin down, because we're going to be hitting him just like we did in our hand-to-hand. Okay, you're going to be hitting him in the midsection. Hopefully he's going to be reacting, and one of those reactions is going to be doubling over. So have him smash his face on your head, not on your face. Next will be the forward thrust. So driving it in to the midsection. Driving it in. This is strong side forward. Again, your grip will dictate which side is forward. Remember, use your convulsive and stomping footwork. Okay, again, here, and here, up the body. Good. Now, backward thrust. This is done with the rear hand. Okay, so we're just going to step from this position. If I just reverse my grip, okay? Again, this is the fastest way to handle anybody that comes from behind. So here's step. Okay. Next thrust is going to be this figure four. Okay, we're going to grip it secure, leave a few inches on the end. This is going to be the figure four front thrust. So you're just going to step. Double it up. Low, high. Next, we'll go to that figure four thrust from the rear. Again, not tremendously strong, but an option to open that up. Again, with the other grip from the other side. Again, as long as you get a reaction out of them. As long as you get a reaction out of them. Okay. Next, we'll do the butt stroke down. This is going to be done with the lead hand in front. Simply drop the weapon in the target. The head, the face, the collarbone are all excellent targets. Just like you were just dropping it, similar to using, a bayonet or a pugil stick. Okay. Next is that butt stroke up. Okay, to the body, to the head. Driving it up, just punching straight through, just like your chin jab. Just like your chin jab. Next butt stroke is a figure 4 up. So it's smashing straight up into the target. Again, follows the same path as we did the chin jab again. Just follow the center line. At the very least, you get your target to move his head and then follow up with something else. Your butt stroke up. Okay, so following the butt stroke up is the figure 4 butt stroke down. Stepping in. Same as all your downward strokes. Drop your weight. Okay. Put as maximum amount of weight in the target as you can. Next is the crossbar smash upward. Okay, so we have the reverse grip position. You're going to drive this up into the target. Extremely devastating. Into his throat, into his chin, his face. You just drive it up. Again, this can be done with the jabbing motion or a driving, like if we were starting to follow up with knees. So we'll be driving this into his face and then continue to take ground. Continue to take ground. Excellent follow-up to that is coming down in the opposite direction with the crossbar downward smash. Okay, this would typically follow that crossbar thrust. You just drop the club downward in the face. If you were bent over, you would drop your weight, strike, and drive it right down into the target. So here. Next is that side thrust from the front. So it's done with the butt of the weapon, and it can go to either way. One step. Again, now as opposed to facing the front, now we're just on the side. Again, we've got a threat immediately from the side. And then to the rear. Yep. Okay, practice the individual strikes. Just concentrate on really getting power into it. That's going to be most helpful. Next, we're going to move into combinations and give you some ideas how to assemble some of this stuff. But again, you don't need to get too involved and creative. I mean, if you want to, great. But as long as you're really practicing those single strikes religiously, and then the opening gambits that we're going to practice from the 3 primary grips, you're going to be you're going to be well on your way, and that's really going to be all you ever need. We're going to go into our combinations. We're going to start with a front thrust. You're going to do 2 times. So you can do low or high, it doesn't make a difference. Then it's going to be an upward crossbar smash, downward crossbar smash, knee. So in speed. Again. Again. Just let the weapon, this is creating our space. The transition, just grip, drive it straight up, smash it straight down, follow up with that knee. Again, 1, 2, stopping the feet, driving it up, smashing it down, and driving the knee into target. The next combination from this grip now is just going to be in the other direction. Again, practice. Once you get your individual strikes down, doesn't make a difference. Put your own combinations together. So it's going to be the rear strike, then it's going to be a forward butt stroke, and then side butt stroke or side thrust. So from the rear, so threat behind, move, back, step out, turn and pivot across, drive, drive. Next, we're going to start now from a little bit farther range from your figure 4. So it's going to be a front kick, forward, front thrust. We're going to come into a reverse grip. We're going to do a forward butt stroke and a rear butt stroke. And then practice 2 rear thrusts. So we'll do those in the target. So from here, it's going to be front kick, 2 thrusts. Okay, come out, forward butt stroke, reverse butt stroke, and then 2 rear thrusts. Okay, let's do a combination again. So front kick. Again. Here. Get used to changing direction. Get used to moving instinctively and convulsively. Okay. Next, from the side relaxed stance, we're going to swing the club into reverse grip position. So you're going to be facing just to show the camera, swing it up, cross cut, front thrust low, front thrust high. It's going to be a crossbar smash up, crossbar smash down. So swing, cross, thrust, up. Again. And up. Next, we're going to move from this position now. We don't have necessarily time to swing the club up, so we're going to do butt strike up, tiger claw. It's going to be a forward shoulder smash, and then that crossbar up and crossbar down again. So again, he's on me. Again, he's on me. Up, tiger claw, shoulder smash, crossbar up, crossbar down. Up, tiger claw, shoulder smash, up, down. Just like in the beginning, okay, he's flipping out all over the place. Great, great. Okay, that's what we want. It's excellent. Next combination is just going to be crossbar smash up, butt stroke, thrust, thrust, butt stroke, smash down. Again, you get lost, you go back, it's all good. It's all good. So, and again. When you train, if you miss, you strike, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Keep working through the technique and then just go back to what we were originally practicing. Okay, now to the rear, it's going to be like if someone were to be grabbing us and holding us, it's going to be a rear butt strike. So let me just switch my grip for the camera. So it'll be rear butt stroke, stomp, pivot step, forward butt stroke down, up, down. So again, he's grabbing me. Here. So just as soon as you approach from the rear, get your balance, pivot step, stomp, pivot into him, stroke, up, down. And that concludes combinations. Again, start messing around with the different grips and come to what comes naturally. Instinctive and convulsive, and just practice, practice, practice. If you get in a situation where you can put this thing on a dolly, great, so you can move, practice some stomping footwork. If you have a partner holding up a kick shield, it's good as well. It's good as well. Next we'll go to strangles with the club. Okay, we're starting with the just to practice the strangles, just like you do your regular strangles. It's going to be 30-second bursts, so you're going to slide the club in, you're going to pop it in and roll. Make sure to crank in, make sure to put your pressure in, pop your head, keep your chin tucked and your head protected. Roll it in like you're reverse throttling a motorcycle. Drive this thing in and just... And that's it. So this is going to help you get it. You're going to swing the club down and catch it. Okay? Yes, this needs to be trained. Yes, this is not instinctive and convulsive necessarily. Okay? But you have to practice this. Again, we're in the later modules. We're in module 9, so now we're training some stuff. So, again, just comes in to target. Nice thing about the club, it doesn't have to be as accurate as your hand. Just comes underneath the chin, lifting it up, catching it, driving it. Again, you're going to be doing 3 30-second bursts. The next strangle is going to be the cross strangle. So now we'd be holding the club like we would be in a relaxed, ready position across, gripping. Okay, this is devastating, but it's more complicated. Keep your chin tucked, rolling the thumbs over. Fingers down, thumbs over, roll. Driving your elbows forward, and you're pulling the club in and leveraging it against the back of his head, driving that club in. Again, just to start, those 3 30-second burst holds, do a nice isometric drill with it, drive it in. Okay. Next, moving down to the ground pin strangle. So he's on the deck, we have it, and then you just simply driving the club into his throat. Nothing sexy here, just putting your weight all the way into the club, and I'm off my knees, and I'm on my feet, and I'm just balancing and driving all my weight into that club. Okay. Now we're just going to go to taking those rear strangles. We're going to go into the entries from a standing position. So first we're going to come in with that hip check. Okay. Now when you're practicing, and if you need to be careful that if you're a lot larger than your target, that you're going to, you're not going to send them flying. So in here, again, just those isometric exercises, pop. So the hip comes in, practice from stepping from a distance. Bring them in. Again. Miss, grab it, no problem. That's what's going to happen. Now we just practice the same strangle with the knee to the coccyx bone. So step behind, knee up, and strangle. Make sure you're driving your hips in, and then as we're strangling, we pop it back to simulate what's going to happen on our feet. So covering distance, stepping in. Again, the more as you're coming in on your entry, the more you keep the tip of the club up, the easier it's going to be to come underneath. Okay? Easier it's going to be to come underneath. Last, with the Japanese Strangle, it's going to be that cross stomp to the knee, and then again, pushing your weight back. So he hangs himself. And distance. When you're practicing your hand-to-hand, doing the hip checks, the cross stomps like we did in Module 2, that's what's going to enable you to start to startle him, because you need to shock him. Okay. Next, moving to the hip check position. Hip, same hand is going to have the weapon. Step in, grab. And pop. Practice getting your entry and grabbing it. Okay? So hip, and in. Again, for strangles with a stick, the Japanese Strangle is the way to go. This one is complicated. Anything else, I really don't think that you're going to have a chance of pulling it off, to be honest with you. The Japanese Strangle is the priority. This is just another variation. But again, still is complicated. You're crossing your hands. It's difficult. Pop in and grab. See, you don't want to be fumbling for the stick when you do it. So you need to have this all the way around. So you step in, hip, and grab. Same as the knee to the coccyx entry. So you step, plant, and up. The harder you hit him on the initial assault, the easier it's going to be for you to, the more time you're going to buy yourself to get the weapon in. If you hit him too hard, you knock him down, oh well, no problem. Go to plan B. Okay. Finally, this cross stomp, again, stomping in behind the knee, locking it up, and bringing it in. Again, cross. So keeping back, keeping your chin down, keeping protected. That's really all the strangles from the rear position and with the 3 rear entries. Now we're going to go to on the ground for the final segment. From the offensive position, when you have your target on the ground, there's really only 2 primary things you're going to do. Those are going to be butt strokes or thrusts, okay, and crossbar smashes. So your butt strokes are going to be okay, so you're doing 20 each. you know, coming in this way, it's really not going to be natural for you. So it's just going to be across, just like you had your, just like your edge of hand. Okay? The other is the crossbar smash. Again, nothing too sexy. His hands are up. It doesn't matter. You're just smashing right into them. The last part of this section, after you practice your individuals, are just going to be the crossbar. It's going to be, you're going to do butt strokes, a barrage of butt strokes, the crossbar smashes to a strangle. So you come in. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, fancy grappling techniques with a stick. I mean, to be honest with you, kind of gets in the way. So really just use it for what it's meant for, blast it, drive it away. And that concludes the first portion of offensive weapons training, and we'll continue with your edged weapon knife training drills for the second segment. There are a lot of knife fighting systems out there, and all of them get way too complicated. The best way to judge the effectiveness is how you train it. Just like when you do your empty hand combinations, or just like when you do working with the club or any weapon, you need to hit something, you need to feel the resistance, and that's going to tell you right away if what you're doing is going to work or if it's not going to work. The best way that we found to train edged weapons effectively and cheaply, in fact for free, is to use cardboard. So set it up for free, collect all the cardboard you can. Again, with recycling these days, it's real easy. Would say avoid boxes with food in them, like pizza, for obvious reasons. Fashion them together with duct tape, and now you can strap them to your dummy, and now you've got the ultimate knife fighting training setup for nothing. Again, well, you wrap them around the head, just cut them. Again, they don't have to be exact. Duct tape them. You'll see just the cross on the duct tape. It allows for it not to fall. Not so much a big deal on the dummy that we're going to be doing on the ground. So it's important that whatever weapon you're going to carry, you got to practice. Okay? That's it. Today we're just going through a basic toolkit setup. It includes sleeve daggers, 2 sets. It's important, like we mentioned in the instructional, to have symmetry on both sides of your body in case one of your limbs is tied up and you can't get your hand on the knife. Attaches to your forearm downward. Okay, either inside or outside. It really doesn't matter. Again, meant to be reached up the sleeve, deployed, and grabbed. Now you're going to find that you're going to be gripping this thing just like this, because when you start plunging it into something, these types of grips start to really wreak havoc on your fingers. We also have the neck knife. Again, you would reach under the shirt, pull it in, holding your finger, like that. Again, these are part of your reactive knife concealment and carry. You've got the push dagger, or the T-handle dagger. Again, this is the plastic setup from Cold Steel. Again, they put the ring in there so it gets picked up. Metal detectors, again, law enforcement, be aware that these things exist, and you're not always going to pick them up. And security, you're not always going to pick them up through a metal detector. This is a Proactive knife setup. This was made by Bud Neely. Picked this up several years ago. Again, I really generally don't like to spend a whole lot of money on weapons that I would carry for obvious reasons. But this one, I really like the sheathing setup at the time. This sits in the inside pocket of your jacket, so you can reach up and just deploy the knife, and you're ready to go. And then finally, we've got the boot knives. Again, using two, as always. Again, these are about $10, $13. Gerber product. They've been around forever, and they'll do the job just as well. So in this segment, we're going to practice training all of these weapons in the manner that they're designed to be carried and deployed. Okay, we're going to start with the proactive training, and we're going to practice a single attacks. Right now I'm using that Bud Neely knife. Again, this is like technically your primary weapon that you would carry. This is just a single edge Tonto design. The double edge blades are excellent. This is just what I'm choosing to work with now. Again, double edge blades are, from working sides, both sides or, can cut from the top. So that's fantastic. It doesn't make a difference what blade you use. It's going to be the same type of motion. So we're going to start with that hammer grip, just like you're holding a hammer. Again, the difference is locking your finger and your thumb. You're going to find that, once you start doing this, there's really like all these other types of, grips, even the fencing grip and even the, even squeezing the blade. This is the best way to grip the knife, especially when you're stressed. You're just going to want to grab it and squeeze it. So we're going to start with the forward downward cross slash. You're going to penetrate through the target from top to the bottom. And just like with your empty hand, your footwork is stomping. 1, 2. Just 1, 2. Okay, so there's really, hands up, it doesn't matter. They put their hands up, you just penetrate into the target. Okay, now we're going to follow with the downward. Now it's just the forward slash, slashing up and in. Again, generally trying to keep your hands tight. Don't come too far out, but your adrenaline is really not going to be able to allow you to stay too tight. So we did the downward slash, forward upward slash, and then it's the cross slash. Just cross. Again, you're going to notice you're going to hit your knuckles. Okay, you're stabbing into the target. So there's really only there's really only one way to grip that. So it's a cross and then that backward slash. Same thing, cross and back. Cross, back. Squeeze the knife. And this type of training is going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Exactly how you need to hold it. Next we'll do the pommel stroke down. So sometimes we can't get the blade to target, or maybe you don't want to kill the mark. Okay, so by using the weapon as a fist pack, you can accomplish this. This is similar to the edge of hand, to the vertical edge of hand. So you're driving it straight down and using this, what we call the pommel stroke down. So you're just going to hit with the end of the blade or the butt of the blade. Again, depending on, some blades have point designs to them. Depending on the make of the blade is going to be what the damage you're going to do. Again, be careful that you don't keep these strikes too tight because you'll be stabbing yourself. Again, that's why it's important to practice with a live blade, but again, I stress caution as always. So you're just going to drop, and then even dropping it on an angle. Okay, coming across. And that is the pommel stroke down. Next, which is similar to the horizontal edge of hand, is the pommel stroke across. Again, be careful. Be careful. Okay? Okay, so those are your two basic pommel strikes, up and across. Again, you would just, and then follow up. Next, and that's all this, that pretty much concludes the slashes for this type of grip. The next, we start with the single hand stab. So you're going to be gripping the knife in the hammer grip fashion. Again, you're going to see that there's really no other way to, I mean, we can attack body sections, but generally, let's be realistic here. I mean, the idea of actually stabbing somebody is a violent personal experience. Okay, are you going to think okay, I hit their spleen? No, not at all. Be realistic. You're going to just come in and you start stabbing the hell out of them. Okay, so we got to the body. Again, done in, to practice coming in and holding the blade, slight angle, flat. It's just because if we're coming into the rib cage, it'll find its way in and it's less likely to get jammed up and stuck on bone. Coming into the midsection, again, this is one of Fairbairn's favorite places, driving it in the midsection, because again, nice soft tissue area, they bleed out. Coming into the head, okay, again, things like this, I don't know. I really don't know, because it's, this is even complex. Okay, when you're again thinking about the rage and getting it. Okay, that's a single hand stab. Okay, next, the double hand stab. Again, originally got this in jiu-jitsu. Again, it shows a lot of foresight and practicality, because one, this will allow you more penetration, and more to the point, allow you to withdraw the weapon. So you're just holding it, hand covering it, just plunge it into the target. Again, whole body, again, swing, same body motion. It's the edge of hand, into the neck, okay, and just driving it in. When you're practicing, you practice moving up the body. Up the body. Work up the body. Again, I'm really not going to be thinking too much about, where exactly I'm hitting, because, again, like you saw, they're just, okay? You're slamming and that's it. Fight over. Fight over. Okay. Now we're going to move from that hammer grip to the ice pick grip again. Like we mentioned before, it's really all about how you grab the weapon. You may be in a situation where it's seat on the ground, you just pick it up, and this is how you got it. So really, this type of weapon, technically, there's only two ways to hold it. Either it's coming out of your pinky side, or it's coming out of your index finger side. So, the pommel stroke across, again, same as the hammer fist. You're gonna drop it. Same as the hammer grip. Okay, you're gonna just come across, and hook it. Again, into the head. Again, you're going to make sure to hold the blade out, so when you withdraw, you're not stabbing yourself. Holding it out. In. Again, you could be grappling in here just to create some space. Practice it just like you would a hook punch. Work up the body. Again, only have to practice your strong side Only practice the strong side because then this is proactive self-defense. So now the pommel stroke up. Now it's just up. Again, we'd be bringing it up into or stabbing down. Okay, so here, up, 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 up. Can't even, if you're in a situation, I'll just switch hands for demonstration purposes, driving it up into the testicles. Okay. So after a pommel strike across, can come into pommel strike, slash. Okay? Cut straight across, really doesn't matter what you hit, you can just cut through. Again, you're gonna find it, again, there's a very popular grip among martial artists, but you're also gonna see that you're gonna start scraping your knuckles and hitting your hand. So, if I had to choose between the ice pick and the hammer, okay, clearly the hammer is a better way to go. Clearly, okay, it allows you, that much, blade's length of distance and allows you more effectiveness rather than having to pull the blade across. But sometimes you just don't have a choice. You just don't have a choice. So this is the way we grab it, and this is the way we work it. Again, coming in to the head, and now to the body. Okay, so again, drive it across. Drive it across. His hands are up. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Then, of course, we're going to follow that with a stab across. Again, usually follows this slash. Come across. Again, even in the cardboard. Okay. Slashing, stabbing, get stuck. There's my elbow, there's my shoulder stomp. Again, reiterating why it's important to do the hand-to-hand training first. Okay? Doing the hand-to-hand training first. So here. Again, working head, working body. Again, this is what happens. Okay, so just like, again, it's a fight. It's not pretty, it's not clean, it's not neat. Okay, getting blade in there, popping it out. Now, just like from the across, we go to the stab down, which is pommel stroke up and again, don't make the martial arts mistake. Coming in, wide open, keep it tight, and just dig with the knife. There's nobody taking this weapon away from you. Nobody. It's ludicrous. Okay? Here. Again, we could be coming into the collarbone, into the face, into the neck. Okay, it's done. Fight over. Up, pommel, strike. Okay, now, just like we did with the hammer fist with the double, we still have a double hand stab back. So, we're going to use the push dagger. Again, it just sits in the hand. Again, gripping it. Again, you want to use it in a boxing manner. Okay, protecting the blade side back for camera from holding it in my other hand. Okay, holding it back, protecting the blade. You're gonna punch. And then to the body. Okay, getting used to how the weapon feels, punishing, driving the blade in. Okay, just punch, face, in the eyes, and then you just get your repetition. Just get your repetition. Now, we're working the push dagger from the ground situation. Buddy here, he's on top of me. Okay, I'm holding the weapon and just digging. Okay, ends the fight. That's it. It's done. This is why when we talk about on the ground, to have a little nasty surprise. It's like this thing is stowed in my belt. We're wrestling around. I grab it. Okay, it doesn't matter. Miss. Now, the only other grip like this is with the hug. So holding it again, thumb locked in. Okay, doesn't matter where it is. Holding it so you can withdraw it and pull it out. Just get used to this time because it's reactionary. We're just going to make sure you use both hands. Guys, up on me a little bit. No problem. Into the side, the ribs. Okay, this is going to give you real skills, understanding what it needs. Again, this is like a $5 item. It's plastic, crying out loud. Okay. So this will bring us into our next portion of your training, which is going to be concealment and carry. For the concealment and carry portion, okay, you're going to put your rig on, be set up. You got your sleeve daggers, you got your boot knives, you got your T-handles, and you got your neck knife. Okay, you're going to practice from drawing and stabbing from the offensive and defensive positions. Again, this is why you're going to see that, the ground fighting thing, if properly equipped, all of a sudden you get your black belt in ground fighting for, I got maybe $50 worth of stuff on me, $60 worth of stuff. So, and this is why, if we mentioned in the ground fighting videos, it's extremely important to end the fight as quickly as possible and to have a nasty surprise for your assailant. So, we're going to be locked in here from this position. Okay, you're going to be holding on. So first we're just going to work on the sleeve daggers. Then in a fight, you're here, pulling it out. Then just, even using, for this particular weapon, you've got a nice little pommel on the end of it, stabbing it in, driving it in. I stick one in them, fine, we're still dealing with that, good. I get another one, stick them in them. Good. Working here, working around. Again, here's my other side. Suppose you got, a little tied up here. Okay? If this arm is locked for whatever reason and I can't move it, then I have this one. If this arm is locked and I can't move it, then you can at least use your free arm to get the weapons. But if I have my weapon hand free, if I only have a weapon secured, concealed on one side, and my free hand is pinned, you obviously can't access the weapon. So it's important to have, symmetry in how you're practicing. So, and how you're concealing. So you're here, you pull it out, just stab. Okay. Now, working from underneath, I have the T-handles again, stabbing. Okay, from under, working the other side. Here, my T-handle, here. Find myself, there's my boot knife, reaching underneath again, catching a rest, no problem. Doesn't snap out, I just yank it out, there, pull it out. Again, from the other side. Working, holding it. Again, it's a fight. It's a fight. So you're going to be maneuvering your position, and you don't know, when you're going to have time to do this. Your leg is stretched out. You pull it out of guard. There he is. And finally, underneath, shirt ripped open. Looking for your blade, and it's important. Hey, it might not just be right there. Right now, it's hanging off my side. Here, now I pull it. Now this knife, not necessarily even stabbing, but I can be ripping across, coming across the face and the throat, stabbing and tearing and just doing all kinds of nastiness to him. Okay, so this is what he's in store for. No submissions, none of that garbage. Okay, I know I'm going home. You want to be safe? This is what you need to do. No other BS. That's it. Practice again, 15, 20 minutes, just pulling out, getting used to where the weapons are concealed, and then stabbing. Between this and practicing with your standing dummy, doing your grip training, there's nothing else you need. This is it. So from the next, we'll move to the offensive position and the top position. Now we're going to be working on the offensive position on the ground. Okay, so you're locked up. Generally, if you're fighting, you're not going to have time. You're hacking. You're not going to have time to be drawing a weapon. The only way you're going to do it is to be able to put your body on them and lock yourself in. So now I'm here. Okay, so we just have an arm hooked around the head, and we're pulling it, and now we're reaching in our sleeve. Now here. Okay, stabbing it, leaving that one in. Again, from the sleeve, same side sleeve. Now work the body. Okay, leaving that in. Again, this is all like $9 worth of stuff. So, pulling it out. Good from the other side. Keep it locked, pulling it in. Good body. So now we're here. Again, we're in a fight. So, hands up. Whatever my hand is near, whatever I can get my hooked into. Good. From working the other side, the other boot knife, pull my pants up again. He's tired. We're fighting. Now's the time I got this thing stored on me. Here. Good. T-handles still. Even if we're fighting in and we're working out of in the guard where he's got us wrapped in his legs, fine. Here. Again, there's one. The other one here. Excellent. Reaching underneath. Again, fighting out of this guard position. Now this hand, working, gouging, working the throat. Okay. Doesn't take much. But that's really all you need. What else you have to do to them? What else do you have to do? Okay. This concludes the concealment ground fighting portion. Next, we'll go to proactive knife fighting from a static situation. Okay, now we'll go to proactive knife fighting from a static situation. Okay, proactive stances take the place of your interview stance, like in the empty hand methods. Here you have already had time to draw your primary weapon and conceal it from view. Again, whenever possible, protect the blade. The only time the blade is in front is when you're faced with a knife-to-knife situation. Again, this is extremely rare. As mentioned before, in all of close quarters combat, all the situation study and the reports that study Fairburn himself poured over, there was only really one instance of a knife-to-knife situation. Okay, this is because, when you have intent, you attack. Okay, so for the interview positions that we're going to work on are from an arms folded position with a hammer grip. Again, just standing here looking like I'm just a guy with his arms folded. The other is, it's going to be a hammer grip and then press to your side. Okay, again, my target would be in front where the camera is, and I would just be holding it in my side. Okay, not waving the knife around, not showing the knife, not West Side Storying it, just here. Okay. The other option, same thing, is arms folded with an ice pick grip. Again, see, it's still in my rear hand. It's still in my rear hand. Again, always protecting the blade. And then arms to your side for an ice pick grip. From here, you can practice a variety of combinations. Okay, these are a few combinations to get you started, but your previous training will tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay, make sure you keep the weapons protected. So first, we're going to start with the short edge of hand, long edge of hand, multiple stabs from a full arms folded hammer grip position. So we're going to be facing the target here. So we're going to start short edge of hand, long edge of hand. Again, just from the other side, I will be practicing. You should be only practicing your strong side, whatever you feel. Again. Again. Weight forward, just as we've been practicing from before. So. Same thing from an arms on your side with a hammer grip. This time, we're just going to throw out a tiger claw. From the other side, here. Again, nothing special. You're still opening up. Now, in the case where we would throw that chin jab, now we're just coming in with our weapon. As soon as, again, like you saw in the instructional, as soon as you come in, fight's over. Fight's over. Okay. Again, that was just two basic combinations. Play around with them. Your front kick. You don't need to get fancier than that. Okay, think of the situation. Think of what you're actually doing. Think of what your mind is going to be like. Okay, it's not going to be like you need to keep fancy and think you're getting your money's worth. You already got it. Next, we go to arms folded with the ice pick grip. So again, weapon back, it's going to be side kick, short edge of hand. Now we're going to come in, pommel strike, and stab right in the target. So again, here. Again. Nothing fancy, just what works. From this side, side kick, short edge of hand, pommel strike. Now, from the onside position with that ice pick grip, we're going to do again short edge of hand. So weight forward, slash, and now we're going to slash across the face. So this is coming. You're smacking, whatever. His hands come up. And then stabbing right repeatedly, anything above that collarbone area. So here, by our side. Cut it across. Hit. You'll be hitting your knuckles. Again, this is why this type of training is so important. So important. So again, just practice some combinations. Give you several to start with out of there, and just play around with it. Once you just start that, You know, once you just start that opening, then it's just a matter of getting the knife to him as quickly as possible and continue and repeated stabs. Repeated stabs. And then we're going to move to the final segment, which is proactive knife fighting from a dynamic position. We're going to start with versus an unarmed attacker. So this hand is going to be back. Okay, and it's really going to start finger dart. Okay, so you just flick them, edge of hand, and then stab. Then stab. Again, when you're hitting here, you're going to still be taking ground just like you've always done. Just like you've always done. He's going to be moving. Again, when you stab somebody, if we talk about in weapons defense, you know, they're not automatically going to pass out and die. Most times in these stressful situations, they're not even going to realize they're bleeding out. So you're still going to have to fight and fight past the game of tag and continue to attack and continue to assault. Okay? Because you can't, you know, this doesn't stop it. It doesn't stop it. So until he bleeds out. Okay? So depending on, could be several minutes, seconds, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's a long time. So that combination again from this position. Again, now we're fighting. Okay, we are, holy crap, I got my weapon out. Here he is. I got to deal with him. So finger dart, edge of hand. Okay, put your hand on there, secure him. Next is going to be front kick. Okay, slash, and then edge of hand, stab. So we're going to do this double slash. So, front kick. Again, here. Whatever comes out of you, comes out of you. Whatever comes out of you, comes out of you. So, front kick. Again, nobody taking a weapon away from you. Nobody taking a weapon away from you. Okay, now we're just going to do from here, slash across, tiger claw, edge of hand. So, we're fighting. Okay? So you slash, you get a reaction. Tiger claw, edge of hand. Okay. So again, it's not martial arty. Okay? This is real fighting. This is how we take this stuff seriously, and this is how it has to be done. Has to be done. Okay. So you get some ideas with moving around with the weapon. Good street fighter, good knife fighter is going to do this. Okay, this is what you have to do. More importantly, this is what you're up against. Next, we're going to go to the front ice pick grip. Okay, so we're going to start with a front kick, tiger claw, pommel strike, ice pick down. So it's going to be finish, throwing a headbutt. It's a difference. If we're stabbing him, we're in close. Doesn't matter. So again, here, front kick. Doesn't matter. Take them apart. Next, just another thing to play around with, front kick. Okay, it's going to be double hand stab, high. Okay? And low. So, front kick. From here, again, holding the weapon, protecting it. You know, you can throw in a finger dart. Up, down, in. Okay? Whatever comes out of you, comes out of you. It doesn't matter. Next, we'll move to the push dagger, again, using it in that punching manner. So the weapon's going to be protected in our rear hand. So we're going to do finger dart, edge of hand, punch face, punch body. Okay? So. And just driving it up, hacking it in, stab, 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 stab. Combo 2 is just going to be the short edge of hand. Again, out of this position, hands open, okay, fighting, just a nice, here, okay. Weight distribute, forward distributed, weight forward, pushing off, because there was only one direction we're going, and that's forward. That's forward. So it's going to be short edge of hand, long edge of hand, uppercut, stab, knee. So just like chin jab, now the rear push dagger comes up. Instinctive and convulsive. Now, if you're versus an edged weapon, you want to keep the weapon in front. And we're just going to do a little drills to round this out. Again, very rare, but just a couple of practice those tapping techniques. And that'll be the final segment, just arm versus an edged weapon. The only added element to this is that we're just going to do those quick cuts. Okay, make sure you keep the blade tight to you. So as we mentioned in the instructional about the distancing, about what happens. It's about he's wanting to close the distance on you, so you want to have that. You want to have that range. So here, again, don't forget here. Okay, you are fighting with a knife. Okay, the dance and the game of tag, whatever. So you're just practicing that slash, that slash. Okay, again, weapon in front, nice and tight. Okay, stop. So he reveals himself finally. So, weapon in front, here, locking up and going. Once you start, keep stabbing. Everything you do preempts your stabs. Don't stop. You get here, now I'm working into them. And that's it. You get incidentally cut. Remember, as we mentioned before, something that'll heal months from now, so you get tendons cut, you get stitches, lose blood. Okay, you're alive. You're alive. Last thing I just want to mention, get back to your grip training. You should be doing this anyway. Set aside 15, 20 minutes and just work your grip. Either gripper, squeeze balls, whatever you're training with. Set aside this time to get that grip to where the last thing they will do is pry this thing from your hands. Okay? Once you start realizing, like, oh my gosh, I'm actually stabbing stuff, again, talking to, experts and knife fighters, who, never even stabbed anything, it's ridiculous. What's the point? What are you doing? And they make fun of people doing, empty hand katas. It's the same thing. Anything looks flashy, okay? Slashes just preempt my actual assault, okay? Don't get, all, enamored with that, okay? I studied it too, okay? It doesn't do the trick, okay? Train, 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 and do it for real. This concludes your weapons training offensive segment.